am the Music and Performing Arts Director at Butler Montessori School. I teach from lower elementary up to the intermediate student. I love teaching at Butler because it is such a privilege to see these little children coming to class the first day of school and then saying goodbye the day of graduation. So you get to become their guide, their friend, their teacher, you play with them, you learn from them, and you see them grow and blossom into wonderful adults. It's really unique as a specialist to be able to see and witness that and be part of it. The lower elementary students start with the basics of the different European methodology I incorporate in my teaching, from Dalcroze Eurythmics, which is based on movement and solfege, to Orff schoolwork, which is based on barred instruments, and the World Music Drumming Curriculum, which is based on drumming. They all intersect, are interwoven. They are not separate things. That's the beauty of these methodologies. You can work with all of them at the same time, so to offer the students a more holistic and complete approach. Of course, at the lower elementary level, it's a starting point, starting steps. They learn the techniques. They start working also on a pre-band instrument, which is called flutophone, and it's a more approachable version of the recorder that the students start using in the upper elementary and intermediates, because it's easier for young, smaller hands to close the holes. The beauty of it is that the students start learning with these pre-band instruments the fingering, which means the finger positions, to read notes, and the proper breathing. They love it, they get very excited, and they also learn to transfer those concepts on the bar instruments, where we learn different techniques, removing bars and not removing the bars, and they also are very excited to be able to touch the drums, and we learn how to properly hit the drums so that they don't get hurt and they can produce a nice sound. The Dalcroze rhythmic portion of my teaching has the movement section of my music pedagogical approach. They love moving on different patterns, and we work on stories, so to develop their creativity. Very often students create their own stories, and we also like to learn folk and pop dances, so the students can, through movement, once again learn the structure of a piece, the form of a piece, and we can then transfer those concepts to classical music appreciation. If you start from this, then all my lessons are spiraled up and they become bigger and more in depth on the same concept. So we go back to all these practices and methodologies with the upper elementary and the intermediates. But of course it becomes more articulated, again, more in depth, and they have a lot of fun. And once we get to the intermediate level, the students become very creative. They are able to interpret their own pieces, like they did for the Beethoven second movement of the Seventh Symphony, where they worked so much on negative space versus positive space, and the tension and release of energy. So it's a lot of work, but a lot of fun.